restored.
All right, take two. Take two. It happens. It happens. How's everyone? Sorry, I had to restart it. Um, I think it was the upload process that I was trying to do Lightroom uploading it. So I kind of paused the upload, hopefully. And we're going to go right back at it. We're going to kind of go into this type of stuff. So again, I'm going to start again and kind of talk about how I would edit something like this. Or let's do this one. This one's pretty. Look at that. I'm going to probably go here for, and then I'm going to just kind of auto straighten it, see if it'll straighten. Doesn't seem to want it. It looks like it's pretty straight. I want to see how it looks in this direction. It looks pretty good. It syncs up. So if you look at this here, okay, upper, what you want to do is kind of give it some character, give it character. Sometimes line up things in certain spots. For me, I like to use a little here. There's like a space between here. Personally, it would be best if it was. Geez, it's a little slow. And then you kind of just bring it up and match it up on that eye. But doing so, you're going to kind of take away some of, like that. In doing so, I'm kind of cutting away some of this character here that I don't want to cut away. A few ways you can do it. You can A, just leave it. B, frame it. C, don't care. Another thing you can also do is kind of go to aspect ratio. 1.5, which is typically how it would be. You can kind of open it up a little bit. But now look at it, see it doesn't match. That's okay. You really don't want it to match all the time. You just kind of want to give it a direction. I would probably tighten it up just a little. There we go. I lose the lower thirds there. But, kind of get a nice little match. Then you're going to kind of put it together here. Next thing I'm going to probably do is, this is one of my tricks I do to a lot of my photos. I'm going to bring it. It gives it a little more detail. You notice how it got darker? I brought in some of the detail of that. The next thing I'm going to do is, again, I kind of bring it down instead of bringing it up. Depending on what I do. When it comes to like flowers and landscapes, well, I might actually go the other direction. But when I do this, it kind of softens the character a little bit, so it gives it a little more of like it doesn't get so harsh. All right. The next thing I'll do is I'll bring this up to 30 as well. Kind of right there. Okay. So I got 30, 15, 30. It's kind of like how I like to set it up. And now you look at it and like, okay, well, but now it's like really dark. So that's when you bring it up here. By the way, this is what I use for a lot of my editing for nature photography. In fact, most of my photo editing, it comes from Lightroom. So it's kind of I'm familiar with what I do, what I use a lot, and I'm happy with it. So that's what I use. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just clean this up a little bit. When it comes to shooting, I shoot, and then I don't. I'll sometimes shoot JPEG, but typically I try to shoot in RAW. And when I shoot in RAW, it allows me to the image a little bit more without destroying it. So here, I'm just kind of bringing up the shadows, so you can see a little more of the detail on this guy, right? Then I'm going to kind of maybe bring up a little. If you notice when I kind of, it kind of hurts the colors a little bit. It kind of softens it up. It desaturates is the word I'm probably saying. So there's a couple. They do too much. messing with this sometimes. Depending on the top, but on here and here contrast a little bit and the highlights just to give it a little more detail there in the color. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select background. So as it's selecting background, what I'm doing is I'm allowing it to capture what's behind it, and it's going to put like a mask to it. Basically, to imagine an image here would be the layer, would be the original image. It kind of just puts it on top, kind of allows you to distort it a little bit. All right, right now, so now it's pink in the back. That means that's what's been grabbed. Okay, go ahead and just go here and just tweak this down a little, like it was a little dark. No, there you go. Just a little bit, kind of get a nice bokeh. I was wanting to try to achieve. Then I'm going to kind of more thing. People always wonder how my eyes are so well. Well, this is actually, believe it or not, I learned this trick from my favorite editor. His name is Earl Edwards. I worked with at Fraternal Deposit. Brilliant guy, absolute. Um, the amount of things I learned from that guy is more than I think he realizes. He was a real smart man, and it was an honor to be by side on a project, and I learned a lot from him. This was one of the I learned here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like this is my version of. He's the one that first taught me. Hey, dude, oh, little things like this. I don't know why I went to people. That was dumb. I'm gonna go here, objects. See how I have that little thing? I'm gonna kind of make it smaller. See how I'm shrinking it? Now all I really want is to eyeball. All right, so I'm gonna kind of. That just froze. So let's try that again. Cancel. Objects. Now be good to me. There we go. See how I just wrapped around that eye, and now it's going to detect what I'm trying to grab. That little pink here again that you saw from the background. See it? All right, now from there, I'm just going to bring up exposure a little, and I'm going to bring up the shadows. And you know what? The low color of it, I'll occasionally just like bring up that color, just kind of make it go pop, you know. So then, yeah, I'm here, just about done. I still think it's a little on the dark side, so I'm kind of up just a little bit. There we go. And then for this is something I do. It's necessary. Um, for I find it adds just a shine to the image, just makes it just so. It's called noise. And what I'll do is I'll just hit this guy right here, and I'm just gonna let it fly. On the software, but I'm back. 18 seconds. This is a faster on my other computer while I'm trying to stream. I'm just gonna probably I might even cancel it. This feels like it's taking so long. You know what? I'm gonna cancel that moment. I'm gonna denoise it later, but denoise is something I do on all is it's just gonna put a little sheen. I'm gonna do that later. I have a little more horsepower on my computer, and see the and you'll see everything that I've done on this. All right, so this guy's just look at the detail on this guy. So that's all. Go to another image. All right, now this one, go here. Then you can help you save a lot. You right click. I'm gonna click it. Just what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna go copy. You can also C. C is something I use a lot. So you can just tap something on the computer. That's Control C is copy. Control B, as in Victor. Control B, paste. So my three biggest ones I use: Control C, Control B, and then Control E. Control is like just kind of backs up if you step up. So I use those three big features. I mean, there's others, but typically those are the ones I focused on the most as an editor. So anyway, so I hit Control C and I kind of like which this a little bit, see where the detail stands, because this one I'm going to zoom in and crop. That detail is phenomenal. Oh my God, that detail is great. I'm not even. We're using that one, so I'm going to hit Control B, and remember, just paste, and just set all the settings from the previous I had and put it in. It does not that background stuff. Um, it 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 only copies and pastes the main put onto the image. So I will have to go back to masking, and I will have to go back to background. And once that's did, I am going to bring that down again the last time. Kind of like the procedure, and it's how it works. I'm going to go ahead and just, it's still detecting. Here it goes. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it down just a little bit, because when you take it down, it just gives it that much detail. I might even add a little contrast and highlights to it, just to give it a little subtle love. And then I'm going to go back to the original. Still think the overall dark, bring it up just a little bit. And I'm going to go back to that spot again, making one more mask. I'm going to fix that eyeball. All right, fix. I say fix, but I don't need to fix it. It's actually a stunning picture of an eyeball. But I like to do again, just to let it stand a little bit. Kind of the detail. You can actually see everything in there. Look at that. Look at the wide. It looks like underneath the building. I think I remember it being under, and some lady told you know, you know, see the replica of the whole area. I'm trying to see if I can see my detail on that, right? So let's get a little more detail in there. So I'm going to grab the object. All right. This one I can bring it up a little bit. I kind of blew it up so I can kind of look at the detail a little bit. You're going to find out why in a second. All right. You know what? This is taking a little longer. So I'm going to kind of. There we go. That's a good size. And then you're going to kind of grab it. And it should loop around that entire eyeball. Right? I love how it kind of his eye curves there. See that? That's pretty crazy how I Oops. That's pretty cool detail. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, again, bring up the shadow, bring up the, I'm going to bring down the blacks, because, I want the blacks to kind of pop. And then doing yellows and brown, just make the brown a little more brown. And then a little contrast. Just do that. And then back to the normal sized image. Now we're back to the normal size. And now we're going to go, what are you doing? Notice, I think you see that right there? This is something that you got to do sometimes too. Right there. But to be fair, it was in Arizona. A fun time at the Desert Museum in Tuscany, or in Tucson, Arizona. Tucson. In Tucson, Arizona. And what I'm going to end up doing, there's a way you can take this out, but I really don't need to. I mean, I'm going to show you that it's take out. All you got to do is just grab this guy right here, put it right over it. And just hit right. On. The edit become these days. These are tools that all editors very common. Like, bam, gone. So now you got that disgusting little spot away. But guess what? We're not even worried about that. You don't want to know why? Because the shot on this is that crop. I do a lot of cropping in my images. There's no crop. If anything, if you're not being a true photographer, in my opinion, because some images want you want to get close. And these lenses that you buy and these cameras that we buy allow us to do so. So don't be afraid to do this. And now the image is done. Is that not amazing? Look at the detail. I got all. Again, if I could, I would hit denoise, and you guys are going to see the difference in denoise later. Okay, and but yeah, this is typically my shot. That's how I come up with it, and that's fun. All right. Um, oh, here's at me now. One eye. He's got one eye. Is that not cool? Look at that. He was a rescue, and they keep him around. Rescue. Anyway, now we're gonna remember that E button. Now it's gonna be all lit up. Little pizzazz, right? And then we're gonna kind of just crop this guy too. I think this would look really good if I just simplify it, make it nice and tight. Maybe straight, maybe tweak it just a hair. Like so. Bring him up. Kablam. Pretty cool. He's really dark though, so I'm gonna bring him up a little bit. Let's see here. I might actually take away some of the haze. Go. Add a little bit of black. And we'll do my typical masking stuff. This is how it works. How each image gets done. I try to get 10 images. It doesn't always come out that way. I do try to give you guys 10 images per um, um, post. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 3. But I try to 10, or try to go for a set. You know, would be a set. So far, that's 3 for this guy. Okay. Um, so there's 2 ways. I'm gonna back. I love how he's one-eyed. Isn't that cool? Really cool. Big fan of it. And by the way, it is guy. More coffee with Cup. Morning Cup with coffee. Uh, it is coffee with Cup. And so enjoy your coffee. Enjoy what I'm doing. Hope you love the images and the you know try it. Hello everyone. Exactly what I'm doing. So here we go. Now we're gonna just bring this down a little. Look at the colors in the background of this shot. So dark and moody. Bring it down a little. Really. All right. Bam. And not necessarily my favorite shot. It's a little muddy here, so I might actually reframe this a little bit. Let's take it this way. Let's bring it up a little bit more. So like this, maybe. All right. I got it. Where is he? We're gonna skip this guy. Um, look at this guy. Now this, I remember seeing him. He was the first one I saw, and you're just like, "Whoa, this guy!" Right? I mean, look, Control V, a little text. Kind of have to definitely play with the lighting, it up a little bit, something more like that. Add a just a stone of brown because it's a hot summer day, and I love bright color on this tree. You know. Uh, so then I'm gonna go here, see if it'll grab background. There's a lot going on here, so I'm curious to see what it's gonna grab. Again, these are some of the things I do to make my pictures. Play with that you see on next door. I don't just take my first image and send it out. Unless maybe it's from my phone. It's from my phone, maybe I'm just like, here you go. But so now it's got all that background, and I just want to tone it down a little bit. It's just a little on the dark side, right? So here we go, like that, and that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go in here and bring it up just a little bit more. There you go. So this guy was at the museum. It was amazing. What a trip this guy was. It was an absolute trip to see. Uh, he was really cool. Let's see here. Kind of skip in because we're kind of getting done in a few more minutes. Um, turn. Oof. We stuck there. That nice headshot. Fell on that. Look at the scales. Crop this a little bit just to kind of give it a little to what we've seen. That I like right there. That's cool. Incredible. Look at that, guys. Look at that shot. Sometimes my equipment just impresses me. I just love detail. Look at the scaly skin, his unimpressive whatever it is, eye of it. It's like I just don't care. God, it's such a beautiful shot. I'm just gonna kind of get a little more color. Let's bring it up a little. Maybe a little more saturation on this guy. This guy deserves a little more color love. There. Come down the blacks just a little bit. I love it. I ain't gonna do much more. I think that's cool. Look at that. Amazing. Look at the detail on that guy. I absolutely love the orange here. You know, the way the rip the neck over. Probably where it is. And then his eyes kind of like an alligator. Just the detail is phenomenal. Detail is phenomenal. Oh, look what we have here. This guy. Chilling. Chill. Love it. Great. Control that detail on it, right? You know, I want to zoom in a little bit and see what his eyes look like. Look at that. You get everything eyeball of this dude. Absolutely. So let's kind of put that. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go to this guy, and then zoom in, and go. God, look at that! Look at the crusty eye it's got, and that detail is absolutely incredible. Look at the eye crusties. Wow. Wow. So I'm gonna grab the object brush, and just gonna lose. I don't know why it would do that. There we go. Come on, tell me you did the right. Tell me you did the right. Brother. So now we got the thing connected, right? I want people to see that. Look at the eyeball. Not incredible detail. That's what the colors. The colors look great. I'm just gonna call it that. That. Look at that guy. He's not a beautiful person, but an absolutely stunning animal right there. So beautiful. Mess with this. It just looks so good. Even the colors of the yellows and the pitched up sun. Arizona. Look at this. Beautiful. It was an absolute. Hold on one second, everyone. Yeah. Okay. I will. All right. Back real quick. Sorry. Had to talk to the people upstairs, make sure everything's okay. So now we're just looking at some of these photos. Absolutely incredible. Look at the mud. Look at the deep reds in the dirt and the landscape. Absolutely stunning. You know, we got a lot to edit. There's going to be a lot to be seen coming up, and I'm looking forward to sharing all of this. another one of those, a different one. It'd be just as entertaining. Just look at this guy's they're just so like intrigued. Bird in there. Let's see what the bird is. Oh, oh, that's look at this beautiful specimen. Wow. Now you have to admit, beautiful, beautiful bird. I'm gonna have to Google search that. Oh, God, that's a beautiful bird. Oh, go. Bring up just a little bit. I don't like to get too far. I don't. You start going too much, it looks a little big. But I like to pop just a little bit. Little subtle just like that is what I like. But now I'm gonna go ahead and go back here because really I know I can get that eye to pop. So I'm gonna grab that brush, object brush, shrink it a little bit. I'm gonna kind of get a little whitewashed, and I'm gonna bring this up because I can see that color. I'm gonna take down the blacks. Let's see if I just make it come up just a little bit. I wasn't able to get it too much, but I got a little bit. It was just enough to kind of give it a little color. I don't know. Let me see if it looked like better before. What do you think? I like it a little better. It's got a little more of a pop. See, it's not much, but just a little subtlety. Give it a bit of oomph. All right, so there you go. Although the image in the background is really cool, but try something, but it's really going to be grinding on the stream. I'm just going to back off on it. We're going to, okay, we're going to pop on it just a little. All right, so now, go ahead and look at some images of this guy. Ooh, incredible. Oof, a head-on shot. Show me that head-on shot. Yeah, look at that. What's up with deer? Deer. I guess we'll have to find tomorrow stream. Well, I have. I mean, look for this being shared and some maybe that'll it'll have stuff being for you all to see. I hope you all have a good day. Get yourself another cup of coffee and keep on grinding. Stay positive. Stay